Hi, my dear students. Today we are going to talk about the quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals means a polygon which contains four sides, four angles, four vertices. Okay, like what? Like rectangle, square, parallelogram, rhombus, trapezium. Okay, all of these are quadrilaterals. Let's see the properties of each polygon or each quadrilateral. Number one, parallelogram. This looks like the father of all quadrilaterals. Okay, the parallelogram is the father of quadrilaterals, the father of rectangle, square, rhombus, and trapezium. Let's see the properties of parallelogram. Okay, we know that parallelogram has four sides, four angles, and four vertices. Okay, I have parallelogram like this. So the properties, number one, what about the sides? Okay, each two opposite sides are equal. This sign means equal. The two dash or the two slash means equal. One slash means equal. So if I have one slash here and one slash here, it means in the two opposite sides are equal. The two opposite sides are are equal in length. Okay. Equal, just equal? No. And parallel. And parallel. We know the meaning of word parallel. Never intersect. Never intersect. Okay, so each two opposite sides are equal and parallel. Are equal and parallel. What about the diagonals? Okay, first, what the meaning of word diagonals? Diagonals means the line segment which join between the two opposite points or the two opposite vertices like this. This is diagonal and this is diagonal. In parallelogram, the diagonals not equal. Not equal. The diagonals in parallelogram not equal, but bisect each other. What the meaning of word bisect each other? It means divide each other into two equal parts. This part equals this part, and this part equals this part. Okay, so repeat again. Each two opposite sides in the parallelogram are equal and parallel. Are equal and parallel. The two diagonals. What about the diagonals? The two diagonals bisect each other. Bisect each other. You know that bisect each other means divided it into two equal parts. Okay, and not equal. Not equal. Okay, let's talk about the angles. What about the opposite angles? Opposite angles, like this. What about the opposite angles? Each two opposite angles are equal. Each two opposite angles are equal. So the blue angle here equals the blue angle here. The black angle here equals the black angle. Okay, so each two opposite angles are equal in measure. So if the measure of this angle 60, so this angle will be 60. Okay. Okay. What about also about the angles? Okay, you know that we have here something we call the consecutive angles. What the meaning of consecutive angles? Consecutive angles like this. This angle and this is the consecutive angles. Consecutive means come directly after it. Comes directly after it. Okay, like here and here. This is two consecutive angles. What about this? two consecutive angles? What about this two consecutive angles? What about this two consecutive angles? Okay, the sum of two consecutive angles equal 180 degrees. Equals what? 180 degrees. So this angle plus this angle equal 180 degrees. So if this angle equals 60, so the other angle will be, yes, very good, 120. Why? 180 minus 60 will give us 120 degrees. Okay. If the parallelogram has right angle, one of its angles is right angle, what does it mean? It means this angle 90 degrees, so this angle will be 90 degrees, and this angle will be 90 degrees, and this angle will be 90 degrees. So in this case, we are going to call it rectangle. We are going to call the parallelogram rectangle. Okay, so the properties of rectangle, like the parallelogram, each two opposite sides are equal and parallel. Each two opposite sides are equal and parallel. Okay. What about the angles? What about the diagonals first? The diagonals, it's clear. The diagonals will be equal in length. The diagonals will be equal in length. Why the diagonals will be equal in length? Because the measures are equal. The angles, all of the angles are equal. If we have angles equal, it means that the diagonals will be equal. Okay? So the diagonals equal in length. And the common property, bisect each other. Bisect each other. Okay? What about the angle? The angles are equal in measure. Equal إيه 90 degree. Right angle. The angle, all angles are right angle. Okay. So can we say that the parallelogram or the rectangle is a parallelogram in which one of its angles is right angle. One of its angles is right angle. Why? Because if one of them right angles, so the rest will be right angles. Okay? Okay. If we have the same properties like rectangle, but we have equal sides, so it will be square. So in a square, all sides are equal. All sides are equal. Okay. What about the diagonals? The diagonals equal in length. Okay. We have a deal that if we have equal angles, it means we have equal diagonals. If we have equal angles, we have equal diagonals. Okay. So the diagonals equal in length. The common property, never forget it, bisect each other. The common property is bisect each other. We have another property here. The other property is the diagonals are perpendicular. Do you remember the word perpendicular? Perpendicular means the intersected between them makes right angle. The intersected between them makes right angle. Okay, so all angles are equal in measure. They are right angles. Okay, let's see the rhombus. The rhombus, like a square, in all angles, all sides are equal. All sides are equal. Okay, what about the diagonals? Do we have here all angles are equal? No. So the diagonals will be equal or not equal? Yes, very good. Not equal. diagonals not equal. And the common property is bisect each other. The common property is bisect each other. We have another property like the square. What is it? Perpendicular, perpendicular, perpendicular. Okay. What about the angles? Like parallelogram, each two opposite angles are equal in measure. The sum of two consecutive angles equal 180 degrees. We have also the last shape or the last quadrilateral, the trapezium. Trapezium, we don't have any property here except two parallel bases, two parallel bases, two parallel bases. Okay, let's revise. Okay, so the parallelogram properties are exist in all figures. Yeah, all figures has each two opposite sides are equal in length. Each two opposite sides are equal, each and parallel. Okay, the diagonals bisect each other is a common property. Okay, the parallelogram, the diagonals not equal, but in rectangle and the square, the diagonals are equal. Okay. The angles, each two opposite angles are equal in measure. The sum of two consecutive angles equal 180 degrees. Let's play a game complete with using right or wrong. Okay, we have here the properties and the shapes, and we need to know which shape has this property. Okay, two opposite the property here, two opposite sides are parallel and equal. All shapes have two opposite sides are equal and parallel. Parallelogram, yes. Rectangle, square, rhombus. Trapezium has the same property? No, not trapezium. All sides are equal. We can say it in another way, the two adjacent sides are equal, okay? Two adjacent sides are equal, or all sides are equal, okay? All sides are equal in parallelogram? No. In rectangle? No. In a square? Yes. In rhombus? Yes. In trapezium? No. The diagonals bisect each other. All of them, the diagonals bisect each other except the trapezium. Okay, the diagonals are equal. Okay, not in parallelogram are equal. Yes, rectangle. Yes, a square. No rhombus. No trapezium. Diagonals are perpendicular. Parallelogram, no. Rectangle, no. Square, yes. Rhombus, yes. Trapezium, no. Two opposite angles are equal. Yes, parallelogram. Yes, rectangle. Square, rhombus, not trapezium. All angles are right angle. Or you can say it in another way. One of each angles is right angle. Okay, parallelogram? No. Rectangle? Yes. Square? Yes. Rhombus? No. Trapezium? No. Okay, let's complete this. Classwork booklet, page 27 and 28. Number 1, complete. The two diagonals of a rectangle are, let's remember, the diagonals, common property is bisect each other. Okay, in rectangle, the diagonals are equal and bisect each other. Letter B, the two diagonals of a square are, we have many properties. Number 1, equal, bisect each other, and perpendicular. Letter C, parallelogram in which one of its angles is right. This is what I told you before. If we have one of its angles is right, okay. He told me that one of its angles is right, and he didn't talk about the sides. Okay, if he just told me that the parallelogram with one right angle, it means we talk about the rectangle. Okay, but if he said that one of its angles is right and two adjacent sides are equal, we talk about the square. Letter D is a parallelogram in which one of its angles, this is what I talked about, one of its angles is right angle and two adjacent sides are equal, so we talk about the square. The two adjacent sides are equal. What is the shape which has two adjacent sides are equal or all sides are equal? Yes, we have two shapes, square and rhombus, but here he didn't tell me that we have right angles, so we are going to here we talk here about the rhombus, not a square. Okay, letter F, the rhombus whose one of its angles is right is called. Okay, we have equal sides in rhombus and one of its angles is right, so it's called square. Letter G, the rectangle whose two adjacent sides are equal. Okay, rectangle has right angle and all sides are equal will be also square. The rhombus whose diagonals are equal. Okay, we said that if the diagonals are equal, it means all angles are equal. So here we talk about the square. Why we didn't say rectangle? We didn't say rectangle because rhombus has equal sides. So the rectangle whose diagonals are perpendicular is called square. The two opposite angles are equal in each of all shapes has two opposite angles are equal except the trapezium. Parallelogram, rectangle, square, rhombus. The two diagonals bisect each other in each. We know that the two diagonals bisect each other is common property in all four shapes: parallelogram, rectangle, square, rhombus. The sum of two consecutive angles equal 180, also in the four shapes: parallelogram, rectangle, square, rhombus. Thank you.